A very warm welcome, everyone. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful story from the Quran. And what's amazing about it is how it feels both ancient, but also, you'll see, incredibly relevant to our world today. It's a prophetic warning that kind of challenges us to think about strength, gratitude, and mercy in a completely new way. So, we're going to be looking at a message that was delivered to the people of Ad. Now, this was a civilization that was famous for its incredible power and wealth. But, this is way more than just a history lesson. It's really a timeless look at how strength, gratitude, and mercy are all connected, and the serious consequences that can happen when that connection gets broken. To really understand the warning that's being given, we have to start with the problem itself. The big issue for the people of Ad wasn't that they were strong. That wasn't the problem. It was how they decided to use that strength. This one single verse, delivered by the Prophet Hud, it's almost like a doctor's diagnosis of a whole society's moral sickness. It just cuts right to the heart of their corruption. And it focuses not just on what they were doing, but on the very character behind their actions. That phrase, strike as tyrants, tells you so much. This wasn't about self-defense or, just keeping order. This was about using overwhelming, completely disproportionate force. It points to a total lack of mercy, a complete disregard for justice. And it was all fueled by this arrogance that they had because of their huge military and physical power. To put it simply, their strength had made them corrupt. And it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? I mean, whether we're talking about the power of a nation, the influence of a big corporation, or even just our own personal strengths, how does that power test our own sense of justice and compassion? It's a question that's just as relevant now as it was then. So, you have this tyranny of strength. What's the solution? Well, it wasn't some complex political reform or a new economic system. Nope. It was something much, much more fundamental. The Prophet Hud offers this just beautifully simple two-part solution. It's so direct, so powerful, and it cuts through all the complex problems of a society to offer a really clear path forward. This, right here, is the core message of every single prophet. And the order of this is absolutely crucial. First, it's developing a consciousness of God, this sense that you're accountable for what you do. That's the foundation. And then, from that foundation, the second step, obeying the guidance that the messenger brings. It just flows naturally. One leads right into the other. And it is so important that we understand this concept of taqwa. It's often translated as fear, but it's not terror, not at all. It's a fear that's born from a deep respect and reverence. Think of it like the feeling you'd have of not wanting to disappoint someone you hold in the absolute highest esteem. It's basically the ultimate moral compass. Okay, so to try and motivate them to take this path, the Prophet Hud doesn't just give them a command. He uses a really powerful tactic. He reminds them of all the good things they already have. I mean, this is such a brilliant way to approach it. He's essentially saying, hey, just look around you. Look at all the blessings you can see and that you already know you have. It's a call for them to shift their whole perspective from being arrogant about what they've built to being grateful for what they've been given. Then he gets really specific. He points to the tangible cornerstones of their lives, their livestock, and their children. In that society, at that time, these were the ultimate symbols of wealth, security, and social status. And this just perfectly shows how the principle is timeless, even if the details change. For them, it was livestock. For us today, it might be financial assets or resources. For them, children meant lineage and support. For us, it's our family, our social standing, our legacy. The source of the blessing is exactly the same. And then he continues, and gardens and springs. You have to remember, in a desert environment, this was the ultimate luxury. It wasn't just nice to have, it was life itself. Having access to fresh water and lush gardens was a crystal clear sign of immense divine favor. So when you put it all together, these people had it all. Food, wealth, water, family. Literally everything you would need for a civilization to thrive. They weren't just getting by, they were flourishing. And that is what makes their turn towards tyranny and ingratitude so deeply cautionary for all of us. So after reminding them of all their blessings, the tone shifts one last time. It goes from a call for them to be grateful to a final, really heartfelt warning about the consequences of their choices. The wording here is so key. He says, I fear for you. This isn't him making a threat. It's an expression of his personal concern, his compassion. The Prophet Hud isn't wishing this disaster on his people. He is genuinely, truly afraid of what will happen to them if they don't change their ways. And that analogy is just perfect. It's like a doctor who sees the bad test results and has to tell a patient, listen, if we don't act on this now, the outcome is going to be severe. The warning itself is an act of care. The prophet has done his duty. He showed them the blessings, he showed them the path back, and now he's showing them the inevitable result if they stay on their current path. So after all that, what is the timeless lesson for us today from this powerful prophetic warning? Well, it really all boils down to these crucial points. Our blessings, our power, our prosperity, all of it is a test. Do these things make us grateful and just, or do they make us arrogant and oppressive? The story shows us that unchecked power will always lead to tyranny, but it also shows us that the path back is always there, and it's beautifully simple. Just reconnect with the Creator and follow the guidance He's provided. Because at the end of the day, true wealth isn't just about what we have, but who we become with it. And that leaves us with a final and pretty profound question for our own lives, for our own societies. When we're given strength, and that can be in any form, does it humble us and fill us with gratitude? Or does it just feed our arrogance? The story of Ad, you see, it isn't just about them. It's really a mirror for all of us.